and you will in that structure. So once we have done with the company structure overview, we will be going to configure the company. So to configure the company, it is a foundation object. So I hope you know about the foundation object and MDF object. So foundation objects are like your company structure, and MDF objects are nothing but the generic object. So to create that foundation object, we will be going to manage data. So this is the action where we will be creating our foundation MDF object. Manage data, not foundation, only MDF object. So MDF objects are also not nothing but the generic object. So if at all you have already created an object, you will be searching here. If you are creating a new, you will be starting from here. So as a starting, we will be creating from the object called legal entity. So here, this is your company starting, like what when your company started, what is the company ID, name, description, status, standard weekly hours, and country. So here, whatever the fields you are able to see, everything can be configurable. And if you want, you can add more fields. If you don't want, you can just remove the fields and you can keep what is mandatory. So first,
Okay. Kavita, one quick question. So like we create new MDF objects using managed data, right?
Yes,
So what do we use configure object definition for?
custom MDF object.
Custom. Oh, okay. So the ones which are already pre-delivered, which we to add data to those, we use managed data, is it?
No, yes. For pre-configured, we will be using managed data, which is not available in the system, which you are configuring. That is custom MDF.
Okay. So like managed data is used for, let's say, I think in the file which you had shared, there are some pre-delivered MDF objects like legal entity, business unit, division, department, cost center. That.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So start date, give us a standard date 01/01/1900. And here ID is nothing but a code. Somebody has been changed this one. We can also change afterwards. So as of now, I'm just creating a company called like what company we can create. So many companies are available here. What we can Toshiba. Okay. In front of my TV is there. That's why I'm creating. So TS001 is ID, and the name I'm giving is Toshiba. Description, you can give a proper description about this company, why you're creating, and what is this company is all about. Status should be active. And here, whenever you're creating an object, the important thing are start date, ID, and name. And all these are configurable. If you want, you can keep, you can remove as well. Standard weekly hours. So as per Indian data,
Where do we do that? Configure object
we'll
definition.
see. I'll show you.
Okay.
Standard weekly hours 40, and country wherever the from the for whatever the country you're configuring, you can just update the country here. So once it is done, just save this object. Okay. So our legal entity has been created. So now as per foundation table, we need to create legal entity, business unit, division, department. So for next object, can just make a duplicate. And here business unit. So here associations are not added here. Now, if at all we want to join our business unit with the legal entity, we need to have the association. So to configure that one, first we will complete this business unit like 01/01/1900, and code you can give a relative code which is like associating or whatever the business you are configuring. So here I have created Toshiba as one company, and I want here Toshiba manufacturing as my business unit. Now save it. Now, this is individual object and this is individual object. No relation between two objects, but we have defined
Right.
that it is working under Toshiba only. So to define that one, we need to have association. That associations are not reflecting. So to make that changes, we will be going to configure object definition. So here again make a screen duplicate and go to configure object definition. So object definition. So for whose association we are doing, we want to associate for business unit. So just select here for business unit. Whatever the changes you require, you can do here. This is the front end object and this is your back end object. So take action, make correction. Just scroll down. So these are the fields. So here if you want to add the fields, you will be adding. And this is the place where we will be adding your associations. So we want the association with the legal entity. Now here two legal entity, duplicate entry, these are all somebody who has been created. But we want to associate with the legal entities. What you have to do, so just remember that two, you have to mention just like a two legal entity. Two just like two is representing that object, and here one to one and one to many. One to one is for a single object and one to many when we want to associate in a more than one object. So always select one to many and destination object with this object with whom you want to associate. So we want to associate with the legal entity. So just select here legal entity, and this should be three options: composite, valid when, joined by column. Composite when you are doing for individual, valid when you are doing for the object with a multiple association, joined by column we will be not using that much, valid when. So once it is done, just give a save.
Okay. So if there are two objects with the same, yeah.
So you can actually, this is done by even don't know which is the association. So just remove that one. So in the real time, we cannot remove anything like this. We need to have proper permission, but in real time, you don't find all this duplicate and all because you are handling the system, right?
Right.
So it is a demo system, so we cannot expect 100% result, and some objects are duplicate, so you can find all those things. So associations has been done. Once you go back, just refresh the system. Here our associations are reflecting. So just take action, make correction. So two legal entity. Now we want to update our legal entity here. So Toshiba is our legal entity, right? Now this business unit
Okay.
is associated with our legal entity called Toshiba, who has been updated by training user 9 on Friday. So this what it is a date driven process. So always SAP works with the date driven process and it captures all the history.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah. Yep. So it said that we didn't have the required permission. Why did it say that? Because we were able to do it, right? Will this
Which permission?
when we were adding the association, can you oh 1 second, Kavita? Sorry. No, sir. Kavita, sorry, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yep. So where we just started, like in where do we go? Where do we go? Can you go to business unit to legal entity?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Can we go to configure business definition? Do you have that tab open?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So here, take action, make correction. We go. We go down. Where is our? We have okay. We have saved this,
Mm.
and okay. Can we go to manage data? Manage data for where do we add the association to business unit, right? We add the association to the child object, right? So can we take action and make correction here?
Parent object.
There was something that was shown before. I guess it's okay now. It said that we didn't have the sufficient permission to um add the
Demo user, right? You
association.
will be finding that one. Don't worry.
Right. I can't find it now. Okay, no problem. We'll move on.
Okay. So next object will be divisions. Just make a duplicate. Division. Now give a date as it is like a standard date what we are following. External code. You can take it as Toshiba Service Center. Give a proper description. Status active, head of the division. Once we enter the data, we can select any of the person as head of the division. Now here also we don't have the association. So what we can do, again we go back to the configure object definition. So here you have to take as a division. Take action, make correction. Just come down to give the proper association. So here it is already added to business unit one to many, but why it is not reflecting? Let me delete and do it again. So just
Okay.
to business unit.
So why was it not visible?
Some data process like duplicate or some new server was into the maintenance, so it will be not visible. Just main business unit valid event. Yes. Go back to the business unit division, refresh the system. No data for this one. You do not have.
Yeah, yeah.
So you haven't given the association, right? Until and unless you don't give it, is show like that. So once
Okay,
we update the update the association, it will come. It will. So we have
got it, got it.
add our business unit. TS002 was our business unit. Just give it and save. Now we have been added our division with the this parent unit called business unit. Now next object will be the department. Same process for the department as well. Give a proper code. See here, all the fields are up and down. Why? Because somebody who has been practicing, they haven't taken this. So once our
I think we gave the code as 54.
give a date, description, now here associate with your division what we have created. 3. Just remove this. Now two associations are there. Okay, division also you can associate, legal entity also you can associate. If you want, you can associate, or else it is not required. It is based on the requirement whether with how many ways you can associate your company. So here I have given association for 2. My department can be associated with the division and legal entity as well. So just save it. So this is a demo purpose only to show you. If you want, you can just remove this one as well. So department is also done. Next we will do one more object called cost center. So why cost center? Because all the payroll should run from that cost center. So that's the reason we will be updating the cost centers as well. So cost here, just give the date again and the code. Here parent cost center, these are all the people who have been practicing, they have updated. So now the cost center can be go with the department. So just link up with your department what we have created. You can link with your division as well. It is again based on your client requirement with how many ways in how many objects they can associate that particular cost center or division department. So it is not mandatory that you have to associate with everything. So it is depends on the data you got from the client. So now all the 5 objects which are generic objects has been created. Now where we can view this object, how you know that what kind of company you have been created. So to view that one, initially we have done the structure. So to go to that structure and we have to view our company. As I said, this is a different server, so we cannot find the structure what we have created on that day. We can create a new structure as well. To configure that one, we will be going to configure company structure overview. This is the path. You can create before or you can create after, but it is depends on the experience you carry and how you are handling the project. So as a quick one, I'll just create. So global data configuration, the code you can give whatever the requirement is. Here the name, and the root entity always legal entity. So the legal entity is nothing but the company. And threshold view, the levels, photo user show level, what you required, you can just take a configure. Quickly, I can add a child entity. You know all this how to add, right?
Yeah, this was done last time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just quickly creating the one structure. So just business unit, add child entity. So give a division. You have to take the object which is associated with the parent object.
Okay.
Add child entity again. So here you have to take as a department. And one more we can also add cost center. So where is cost center? Here it is. Okay. So quickly we have done one structure. Just save it. Now we are done with the company, we are done with the structure. Now let's see how our company is reflecting, because we haven't done like more configuration in this one. If you want, you can just edit child entity and do the configuration here. So before that, let's see whether it is reflecting or not. Where we can go to view that one? View
Which one?
org chart to see our company.
Okay.
View org chart is the place where you can see your company. Now give a name, whatever the structure you have, configure company structure overview. And here legal entity. See, this many things we have created. Now our company name. You can see any of the company in this structure. It is not like you have created one means it is not for your company. It is for all the company available in the system.
Okay.
Toshiba. Now this is our company, what we have created. Division, department, cost centers. Okay, so here it is reflecting to level 2, level 3, level 4 and level 5. Now this is a side panel, and now if you, this is very simple, you are not able to see anything in your company. So to make some changes, to make the data should be visible, we will be adding some here. So edit entity, add layout. In this layout you can just whatever the color you require you can choose, or you can see the visible field. So ID is already reflecting. Now I want my company name to be reflected, and here I want my country or a date to be reflected, and italic, bold, whatever the configuration you require. Now I want count people, how many people are working in company. I want count position, and after that I'm just deleting this field one because of this is not visible, and this is side panel. Apply. Okay, so now see the change.
Okay.
Refresh. So this is your legal entity ID, Toshiba. No people working, no positions left, and this is level 1 organization. Likewise, you can configure each and everything, whatever the requirement is based on.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So what and all we have done, can you repeat?
Sure. So we have created the company structure. We start with the highest object which is available, which is a legal entity. From there, we move down to the business unit and then to the division and department and cost center. So to create a new object which is pre-delivered here, which is legal entity, we go to manage data and then we create all of these objects and we associate one to the other. Uh, for example, legal entity does not have any direct associations, but business unit is associated to legal entity. Business unit division. Division is associated to business unit and so on. And we can create this org chart in configure company structure overview, and then we can view it in view organizations or view org chart. Sorry.
Good. Okay. So
All
one second.
So sorry.
No, not field. Okay. Next, we will move on with the custom MDF object, which is not available in the system. How we can configure. So let's take a 10 minutes of break and join back.
Sure. I mean, is custom MDF object not available in the system?
It is there. We have to configure that one.
Ah, okay, like that. I thought we didn't have the permissions to create.
No, no, we can configure that.
Sure. Okay, we'll catch up in 10 minutes then.
Yeah.
Thank you.